The purpose of this session is to walk through what you would learn as a manager from the core courses from the Scrum Alliance, such as the CSM, Certified Scrum Master course, the Certified Scrum Product Owner course, and the Certified Agile Leadership course. Number one as a manager, it's really important to understand what is the Scrum framework? What is this product backlog? How do we come up with this sprint backlog? And along the way, what are the teams learning that is so important for success of Agile here at this organization? At the end of every sprint, we show off to leadership in the sprint review and stakeholders what it is that we've done, and that's a vital piece of that. Also, what does it mean to be done? How did we really get to that? And what are the teams learning along the way for how they work together? Secondly, what I call the three V's, we're learning in a world full of volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, what we call VUCA. This world demands an ability to inspect and adapt, to pivot, to change along the way. The management tools we had in the past may not be a good fit for this rapid pace of change that we currently find ourselves in. Also, what you're going to get from these courses is the value of an empirical approach that I call VIA, which stands for visibility, inspect, and adapt, and understanding how those tools really serve you. Last, V would be about value. Value can be seen in a number of ways, but we certainly look in terms of business value, which is important. And the courses will help you learn about how do we prioritize, and lots of tools and ways to prioritize besides just loudest voice wins or highest paid person's opinion. I think there's really good sound tools on how to prioritize. Secondly, we learn about the value of having teams decide for themselves what we need to do. That is, do we want to be time tellers as management in the organizations, where people have to keep coming to us with the answers because we're the expert, which can become very limiting and doesn't scale and means you're up late nights or on the weekends and you're on call because you're the one that's got the answers. How can we coach them to become clock builders themselves? And they learn and they get better along the way and go from some kind of uncertainty to coming up with great answers themselves. And last, I would look at how do teams collaborate? How do they figure out themselves how to get things done and get the results that we're all looking for? Because this world does not plan out everything for everyone, but we figure it out along the way in this Agile context. So a lot of this ties back to traditional projects where we might be used to where there's some kind of certainty up front, but no longer. Now we're not so sure. So we really want to equip the teams to do that. So across these courses, what I have is CIL. I think it's important that you learn how to coach others, the people that report to you, be a support in the organization, even coaching leaders on what does Agile look like, here's how that works, because you can be a tremendous influence and a tremendous ally to the Scrum Master, to the teams, to the product owner. If you understand with soundness, what is Scrum, how does it work from the CSM, how do we prioritize via the CSPO, and the Certified Agile Leadership. So there's a coaching aspect of that. We ask you to reflect and learn about what is your style as a leader. Are you the expert? Are you making things happen via having people talk to each other, but we've always kind of got to go through you? You're the one patching us in. Or can we move into the very small percentage, about 10%, that are truly catalytic leaders who know how to flip the script and in some ways act as a coach? Also, I for influence. How do we influence others? You may not have authority over the Scrum teams or certainly the product owner or others, but your ability to ask very powerful questions and the way that you work for them, your ability to have catalytic conversations where when there's challenging situations, you know where you're at and you know where you're standing, you know how to pull together the best information from others to make sound decisions. And last L is for leadership. And what does your own growth as a leader look like? And not just your own personal growth, but once you feel like you're there, how do we help lead change? How do we help the whole organization go agile? And what are those tools and pieces that we would use? And those two halves of how do you grow as a leader and what are the tools to lead an agile change versus just copying someone else's script, copying without knowledge, I would add someone's large framework of everything, here's everything to do. Figuring out yourself and leading that change organically that works for your company, your culture, and your company's goals is key. And the Cal Certified Agile Leadership course covers that and walks through tools to do just that. So I would strongly recommend, if you're a manager, the common polling over 10 years has been that you're one of the top 3 problems with Agile adoptions because you're not quite sure of your role, you haven't gone through training because there's no certified Agile manager or whatever that might be. Yet you can flip that to be a tremendous support. And as I look at successes across organizations that we've helped, every time there's some manager or managers there who really get it and they know that fluid, subtle way of tipping things towards being more agile, moving away from the old ways of working towards the new ways of working. The CSM gives you the core fundamentals of Scrum. The CSPO gives you the core fundamentals. How do we prioritize? How do we plan out our products? And Cal gives you the core tools of what's my new stance as a leader to work with others instead of giving them advice and telling them what to do, to helping them figure it out themselves, and how do we lead change in our organization organically that works for us. Those are core pieces, and you can flip the script from being commonly one of the challenges in agile adoption to be one of the biggest supporters and key reasons of success in your organization. So consider those tools. If you want more information, come to rocket9solutions.com. Look at the courses there. You can see quick summaries. Also go to YouTube. Our other list there for Agile leadership, and you'll see other videos that answer more questions and explain some more areas that would be helpful, and hope to see you on your journey. Good luck.